A rabbit out of the hat in a way. Terrific horse, but hasn't won since the Blue Diamond.
Yeah, he's a tricky horse because he tends to get back in his races and find a lot of bad luck. But watching his trial, Bruce, it seems like he's got it all together. He's had the trip overseas where he was narrowly beaten, and now that he's showed speed in his trial, I think he's going to be certainly running well today. This is Communist, another horse that's been going well. He wasn't too far away from the likes of Aft Cabin and all the decent horses that we've got, the 3-year-olds. If he gets a nice run in transit, there's no reason why he can't run well as well in the Randwick Guineas.
He likes them. So getting to know Zach, I mean, we've thrown a few questions at him, Katie.
Yeah, so there you go. So his nickname, the Don, Zach Attack. Now, I've heard that one before. Best horse he's ridden is Beauty Generation. He's the Swans supporter.
Ah, that surprises me.
Interesting.
Tiger, no surprise there. And that's Zach. He's so competitive. He doesn't give anybody a centimetre or an inch, does he?
No, not at all. I mean, he's used to riding 5 or 6 or 7 winners on the program.
I reckon he enjoyed beating Joe Moreira by a nose in the last couple of years, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
I think that way. And here's Artorias. What a journey they took with him last year, Katie. The couple of runs in England were both good. The run in France wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Good on the connections.
Yeah, no, I thought they did the right thing. And maybe, having that trip away, I know he didn't win, but he could be a better horse this preparation now. We might see the best of him because we know that he has the ability. It's just trying to get the right run in the race.
Richard, Lizzie, 1,300 metres at Royal Randwick.
Well, let's have a look at it from a drone shot here, Lizzie, and then talk through the key parts of it. And they look to have a nice straight run before they need to turn.
Yeah, absolutely right. You want to be getting your position just about now so that when you start turning, your horse is in a nice rhythm, a nice balance, and there's a little bit of a straight path into this is the final turn at the top of the straight. And this is where the jockeys start deciding and making moves, burning up a little bit of momentum into the straight. And if you're in front, you want to be timing your run to absolute perfection. But if you're back, you're looking to either weave a passage through the pack or go to the outside and try and find the clearest of room. And as you're hitting the line now, if you're in front, you're holding your breath to the line and hoping that that nose goes down right on the winning post.
And for Zach Burton, you can imagine with Artorias, can he get him to jump, or will he settle back and then storm over the top like he does traditionally in his races? So much to play out for the Canterbury Stakes. The 93rd running, but the 11th time as a Group 1. And since it's become a Group 1, Forbidden Love, Mizzy, the Bostonian trapeze artist, Happy Clapper, just some of the winners. And Piero was the very first winner as a Group 1. What about the old marvel that is Cascadian Returning?
Well, it's probably a little bit too short for him, but he absolutely loves this track. He is a horse that loves to get back, find back and, really navigate a path through the field. And if you put on a good tempo, he's the horse that's going to be doing that. The other horse that's going to be doing that is this guy. Now, interestingly enough, looking back on his form, he has never run at this track before. And I think this track is absolutely going to suit him. It's going to suit him because he's going to be able to get back, find the line as strongly as he has done in previous preparation, but hopefully Zach will be able to time his run to perfection. He's got international form and he is definitely in great order.
Yeah, he's placed in 2 of the biggest Group 1 sprints in Europe in the Platinum Jubilee and the July Cup. Kerwin's Lane, you regard him as a miler, don't you?
Yeah, well, this is probably a great kick-off point for him. He will head towards the Doncaster, you would envisage. He did win the Villiers, so he's exempt from ballot. So this is a good kick-off. Can't see him winning, but he will run well.
The Goodwood winner, so we know that he's a Group 1 sprinter. Is the Goodwood good enough to win a Canterbury Stakes?
I ask you that.
I suggest not, but I love the placement. So Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. say, we were going to have a crack at the Lightning, and then we thought, no, this will be a little softer. I like the planning, Bruce.
I'm with you, Richo. This bloke, of course, beat Anima on this day last year in a Group 1.
Yeah, he did, and he was so disappointing last preparation, wasn't he? He's a horse that just needs everything to go his right way. We know he has the ability to converge, so we'll see how he goes today. Here's Old Flame. He's still an Entire. He's by Invincible Spirit. He's resuming. He won first up last preparation. And Quantico is in a rich vein of form. He's very consistent and honest.
And they've backed him up very quickly. That can work. So, Richo, we have a look now, and Lizzie at Imperatriz.
And I'm keen to have a good look at Imperatriz. And Lizzie, there she is.
Can she look any better? Very, very impressed by this parade, Richo. She's got strength behind the saddle. She's also super fit and forward in condition. She's just a little touch on her toes. She wears those red earmuffs, so maybe that's something that she does previously in the yard. She is obviously a very, very talented mare coming off a win last time out, and you would envisage that that form is certainly good enough. Electric Girl was able to win the Millie Fox last time out. She sat just behind the speed. She presented in a perfect fashion, and she was able to win quite convincingly on that occasion. She can be a bit inconsistent, but she does look as though that form is strong enough. And you've given this girl a bit of a push as well, Argentia.
She's my best roughie in the race, Argentia. I liked her first up run. And I think if there's a blowout, because this is the Goldilocks distance for her, 1300 is just perfect. But this is the guy that they have to beat. Now, people will be thinking that he's more of a miler. I just think at 1,300 metres of weight for age, second up from a spell, I think he's beautifully placed here, and Nashville will get a gun run from that inside barrier. Well, Ben Way, let's have a look at the marker, the first of our Group 1s today.
Artorius, $4.60 the open, $7.50 now.
James, two very well-credentialed runners here in the Canterbury Stakes. Let's start with Cascadian. His first up record's really, really good, but it's a nice kick-off point for him.
Yeah, he can run slashing races first up. It's just a little hard for him to be winning against these sharper horses over 1,300, but he's got a good turn of foot, this horse, and if he can get the perfect run underneath them when the gaps appear and maybe there's a few of them overdoing it just a tad up near the lead, then that'd be the way that one day Cascadia might win one of these races first up.
Golden Mile, he's had a nice little kind of let up, I guess, in between runs after running second in the Expressway.
Yeah, so we're getting him back into the game, but gee, well, we're really pleased with the way this horse has trained during the week. And as a Caulfield Guineas winner from the spring, exciting to see him back in his first Group 1 as an autumn 3-year-old. But it was an excellent first up run in the Group 2 over a month ago, and he's a good looking 3-year-old, the only 3-year-old in the race. So interesting to see him against the older horses again.
We know it's been done before. Good luck.
Thank you.
Superb horse flash for you to assess, Lizzie. Who'd you have on top?
Golden Mile on top, Richo. I loved him first up. I thought he'd done enough work in the Expressway, but I think today you're seeing him absolutely primed for the occasion. So he is the on-top selection. There's a few I could have gone with. Imperatriz is definitely in the mix, and so is Artorius. He looks as good as I've ever seen him.
And what about the feelings? Your young nephew's having a crack at a Group 1. Zach Lloyd
is too.
rides in a Group 1.
He is too. Good luck to him.
You just water off a duck's back, whatever.
No, I'm super proud of all of my nephews, actually. They've all done a really good job. They're a very talented bunch, Ryan's side of the family, and they've produced some seriously good jockeys, and Zach, Jaden and Chad are all following in their father and uncles and all their respective fathers' footsteps, and their grandfather as well, and also, I suppose, Ryan.
Who's the hot horse, Ben?
Took a long time to get to that, didn't it? Imperatriz is the hot horse, guys, 3 times more than Golden Mile, and we've seen the late firm up. That's all we wanted to see. $1.90 was always felt a bit too short. $2.50 was snapped up really quickly, now into $2.25.
It was reluctant. She got there in the end to give her husband a little
I will get a message.
Look, I think Golden Mile, this is perfect for him. Second up from a spell. He gets a big opportunity here to get another Group 1. I think this is a great race for Golden Mile. And the best roughie in the race for mine is Argentia. Bruce, I'd love your thoughts leading into the Canterbury Stakes.
Terrific field, Richo. 6 Group 1 winners in the race. A couple of them probably not suited by. I'm going to go with Imperatriz. She's probably a little bit shorter than I expected she'd be at the start of the week. I think she'll win. I see where you're coming from with Golden Mile. I think it's great placement by James Cummings there. And I do think that Artorius, Lizzie might have hit it on the head with Royal Randwick with Artorius. Katie?
Yeah, I think Artorius, especially with the gear change, the visors on, the blinkers off, I just think it'll help him jump. Hopefully he can be not too far away from them. Zach Purton in the saddle. Looking at his form overseas, I mean, he was narrowly beaten in a Platinum Jubilee at Group 1 level. He's a horse that wasn't too far away from alcohol-free. So, geez, when he gets it all right, he's going to be thereabouts. But I think it'll come down to who gets the best run in the race.
Forbidden Love won the race last year as a $2.20 favourite. The year before, Mizzy winning, and that was with a little asterisk there because Savatiano was disqualified after. It was a 70-1 chance. Piero, Happy Clapper, Trapeze Artist, some of the class that have won this race since it became a Group 1. And the first of our 3 Group 1s across 2 huge stages today on the screens of 7. It is the Canterbury Stakes. It's worth $600,000. And can the New Zealand sprint form hold up? Can Mark Walker turn back the clock and get a Group 1 in Australia? Here's Darren Flindell to call the action.
Today we'll see how good this New Zealand mare is. She comes with an imposing record, having won 12 of her 17, 4 Group 1 successes. So Argentia completes the lineup now, and we're ready to go in the Canterbury Stakes of 2023. Stand by for a start. You ready? Starter about to hit the button, and they're off now in the Group 1. Cascadian was last out of the gate, and Electric Girl jumped well. Together with the favourite Imperatrice, who's straight up into second. Converge on the improved. Quantico jumped well, but doesn't have the muster as Golden Mile and Lombardo push forward. Then came Artorias from further back to Old Flame, Kerwin's Lane, Cascadian, and Argentia is the last one. So Electric Girl holds out the lead by 3/4 here to Imperatrice, with Lombardo in third. A length off to Golden Mile and the white cap fourth on the inside to Converge. Then Old Flame from Artorias. 3 wide is Quantico. Well back in the field now, Cascadian from Kerwin's Lane and Argentia's last of all. 600 metres to run. Electric Girl a half in front to Imperatrice. Lombardo tucked away on the inside third, followed by Golden Mile. Converge deeper out on the track from Old Flame. Deeper out then is Quantico. Artorias strung up between runners. Cascadian back on the rails. Up the rise, Electric Girl. Really being tested now by Imperatrice. And McDonald let the New Zealand mare go. And Imperatrice raced a length clear from Electric Girl. Then came Golden Mile from Converge, Kerwin's Lane, but Imperatrice a length and a half clear. Artorias is bursting home late. Imperatrice in front. Artorias! Wow! Artorias bombed her and won the Canterbury Stakes right on the wire. So Artorias beat Imperatrice, third between Electric Girl, Golden Mile, then Cascadian. Further back, Converge from Kerwin's Lane, Lombardo, Quantico and Argentia.
He's done it, Zach Pertnay. He's the magic man. He has done it. I thought she was home. I made a big mistake. I actually told Katie she was home, Lizzie. It has not gone down well, I can tell you. Electric Girls I know so well, but Artorias, in so many ways, how good is it to see him come back like this and for Zach to win, eh?
Incredible performance from Artorias, and we know how difficult he is to sort of get the best out of him, but this is his first time here at Royal Randwick. Katie mentioned with those visors on that he just gets a little bit of look around. The visors can make such a big difference, but you know what's made a huge difference is that man on board. That man, Zach Purton, back here for the first time since 2018, weaving a passage with James McDonald in his sights on a very, very talented mare in Imperatrice. He didn't look as though he was going to quite get there until he just got this gap at the right time, Richo.
And once he got that gap, didn't he just put his nose down and charge at it? That was brilliant. So before today, it was 10 career Group 1s in Australia and 28 in Hong Kong. He makes it 11 in Australia, and that one would give him so much satisfaction for Anthony and Sam Friedman. Huge as well. But then you think about the ownership. You think about Newgate and the money they've invested in this guy to get this result is massive for him.
Incredibly important for his stallion career, and now that he has raced on the international stage and been so competitive in Europe and run in such good races, such good high rating races, and a return to Australia this time around as a 4-year-old and winning a Group 1, his first start here at Randwick, he has got such a wonderful record, and I'm really looking forward to this interview. Richo, yes. Emma Friedman is alongside her uncle Anthony.
Congratulations. I know you wouldn't speak to me pre-race, but we know he's a serious kind of horse. What really a ride from Zach to be able to get him into that spot, then patiently wait, peel out, and then those final sectionals were electric.
Yeah, look, he's... I think everyone knows how good he is. It's just getting it right, and we changed a little bit of gear today, and that might have had an effect. You know, Michael, I can thank him for that. He said, well, why don't you try the visor? which I think gave him more field awareness and allowed him to race that little bit closer. And, you know, Zach obviously gave him a great ride, but it's just great to get the horse winning again.
Connections are absolutely thrilled, of course, being a stallion prospect for Newgate. I know they're just delighted for him to get another Group 1.
Yeah, look, you know, I don't think we ever doubted he'd win again. It was because he always runs well. And, yeah, he deserved his day in the sun today.
Congratulations.
Cheers.
What a ride. Zach Purton quickly becomes the story here because he's able to get this guy to run at his tip-top and get the gap, and we saw it. His unbelievable finish with Jamie Spencer in the saddle in the Platinum Jubilee at Royal Ascot and also in the July Cup. Maybe not as much in France, but that was super.
Yeah, that was absolutely excellent. I love seeing horses that have got such an enigma against their names, but he looked as though he was absolutely savaging the line those concluding stages. He did hang in just on the line, but what a performance, and what a performance from this man, Zach Purton.
You're a bit nervous to get him to jump, but he did in a pretty good way in the end, and you found the perfect spot. Congratulations, because that was the perfect ride for him. He got the space he needed in the clear, and those final sectionals, have you felt much like that here on Australian soil before?
Not for 6 years, I haven't, no. But to be honest, he didn't jump cleanly. He was a touch slow into stride, but I dug him as soon as he hit the ground, picked him up, and then I was lucky to get into a great spot.
He's a funny horse, isn't he? But he's got a huge amount of talent. What's your assessment of him after riding him to another Group 1 victory?
Well, what everyone says is completely true about him. He certainly comes with a fair few tricks, but he's a very talented horse, and we've seen that again today. It feels like he gave 85%. He's cleaned him up, so he goes good.
Congratulations on returning here and scooping a Group 1 just on the table. Oh, it's just amazing.
Family's got to be happy.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. So on all sorts of ripple effect levels with Purton winning, just that interest in Hong Kong and Australian racing and betting right now. So a great result, and of course with Artois. So